Coming up on the show, I've been so excited about this. Life of a Showgirl. We have a hardcore Taylor Swift fan and somebody who's a little bit tepid about it. Jax and Stef are about to have the debate of the century. Let's get into it.
I want a kid, maybe. Like, not full time. I'd be a good mom.
I think you would be.
Fun mom.
Okay, so
we're on?
yeah, we're up, we're going. Okay, so I just want to say this. Stephanie rolled in today, producer Stephanie rolled in today with a Taylor Swift shirt on. I think that's an Eras shirt, is it not?
It's an Eras tour
Yeah,
shirt.
because she knew that would be the first, and it's not the only story, but it's the main story. Because Taylor Swift, love it or hate it, and I actually happen to think it's great, is the main character. And she can grab headlines, and we're in the, what do they call it? The attention economy, Jax. The attention economy. If I can hold your attention.
Yeah.
That's the economy we're in now.
Yeah.
Jax has been in the past, and before we get in this album, whatever, Jax has been hot and cold on Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, more tepid and cold.
Mm.
That you're suspicious, I think.
You know what I was thinking earlier?
I've met Taylor, so I am not suspicious. I think she's legitimately that person.
I think I'm disappointed.
You're disappointed?
I think I'm not a hater.
What?
I think I'm disappointed because I do think that she has the ingredients to be that person. I've said it before. I think that she has fantastic songs. Style, Out of the Woods, like some huge tracks. But her album Runway for me ran out about 8 years ago.
Okay.
And since then, I think she's bored me to tears.
Now,
And Stephanie's looking at me with like evil eyes, and I'm not doing it just to piss you off. I have gone into the portal. I've listened to a lot of new album. Even fans, massive fans of Taylor Swift are like, what is this?
so let me just read the headlines. And we've seen all the TikToks, but I got to read the headlines first. Let me set up the story. Stephanie's readjusting her shirt again. Just wants everybody to see that Taylor's on there like 13 different times.
Yeah.
Okay. From the Globe and Mail, these are just the headlines.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift's Life of a Showgirl is a fizzy, earworming, and, well, not great work.
Yeah.
The Atlantic. Okay, I'm trying to get good publications,
And
right?
Atlantic is like, they don't gloss. Like
No.
they're not there to
Taylor
hype you up.
Swift's fairy tale is over. The
Mhm.
Guardian. Taylor Swift, The Life of a Showgirl review. Dull razzle-dazzle from a star who seems frazzled. Gotta love the Brits.
Ooh.
From the LA Times. What do they know about entertainment?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl is an immaculate act of damage control. The New Yorker. Why does Taylor Swift think she's cursed?
God bless the New
Which I
Yorker.
think is funny because honestly, there could not be a more charmed person on planet Earth. Here's the sub headline of the New Yorker. The Life of a Showgirl, the artist's new album, is full of cringy sexual innuendo, millennial perfectionism, and an obsession with her haters that wears thin.
Yes.
And Style Magazine Australia. And I like this one just because this little paragraph is just, because we got the Taylor Swift fan side, and then we got the other side. Nothing stood out to me. This is from a Taylor Swift fan. On first listen, the songs were okay. They're easy to listen to. They're easy to digest, but they lacked the spark I was craving.
Yes. Substance.
That addictive quality where you can't stop singing a chorus or replaying a bridge or obsessing over a particularly well-written lyric. For an artist whose discography is filled with undeniable hooks and sharp, devastating good lyricism, The Life of a Showgirl missed the mark. So, with all that said, and there are lots of critics saying lots of things. Steph already hates me for even reading those out loud.
Mm-hmm. But these are massive publications.
Right. I feel like we're at a presidential debate here.
Yeah,
We got, I'm not going to say which one's the Republicans, which one's the Democrats. But I do want to ask you guys, do you think the criticisms warrant? First off, we've listened, right? We've listened?
Yeah.
We've listened.
Yes.
Stephanie, I don't even need to ask. I know she has. Stephanie, were you let down at all by this album? That's the question. Based on the benchmark of her previous work, which is pretty spectacular.
No.
Interesting.
So I listened to the album at midnight when it came out in my bed with my AirPods on.
I love that.
And I didn't look at any internet reaction. I was just texting my friends. We were listening to it at the same time, giving each other our reactions. My initial thought was, this is fantastic. The Fate of Ophelia, incredible single. I think it's a good first single from that album. It's catchy.
What do we think of Canceled? Do we like Canceled?
Canceled's probably my least favorite song on the album.
Okay.
I would say. Do I think it's a bad song? No, but I think it's just probably one of my least favorite.
Forgettable for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But just going through the songs, like Opalite is such a banger. It's a catchy beat. It's all over social media now. It's like, I would say it's probably eventually going to be like the new Cruel Summer is the vibe I'm getting.
Okay. Oh.
Father Figure, incredible. And then it goes on. I think Wood, despite the content of...
Is that about Travis Kelce's Redwood?
Yeah.
Which a lot of people are, you know, rolling their eyes at. I think it's an incredibly catchy song. If Sabrina Carpenter put that out, everybody would be eating it up. Like,
Well, I think
you know
there's
what I mean?
So that's a good point. Let's start there. There is a little bit of Sabrina Carpenter in this album, and I think they toured together, and I think they're friends. But my question is she leaning into that because, well, first off, she's never really gone there. Her music's been pretty...
She has.
She's not like overly sexual, though.
She has a little bit in certain songs.
Yeah?
And that's the thing. They're just not mainstream hits. Like her fans know.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Now, so is the thing about Sabrina Carpenter
Is she's
that I find
26 and
interesting-
Taylor's 35.
No, it's not.
So
that.
what?
That is no,
So
that
what?
isn't.
It is that, though.
Because I think that's where I want to give you, because you look like you, and I know the Swifties, they are so strong.
I love a debate.
And I'm
I
so
love a
scared of
debate.
them. Here's the thing, though. It's not like I'm like, it's trash. It's that I wanted more from Taylor, and I think that she is tremendously capable. I've watched all of her like actual documentaries, and I think that she is a rare songwriter. So write some songs. Write the songs that you like. This, it just feels like a letdown. I feel like she's holding on to this like 2017 or 2016 version of herself. And I think it's beautiful to grow and to change and to evolve. And she's almost there and is unwilling to do so. Like this just feels like an outdated version of her that she thinks she needs, like the girl drama, like the pettiness.
Well, hold on.
Like,
We're coming to that.
right.
We're
But
coming
like,
to that.
like I just feel, it feels like, like a 10 year ago version of somebody who's making the act to grow up, but not actually growing up.
So on the Sabrina Carpenter thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, fine. Taylor's had that in her albums. And I'll be honest, I will never dive as deep
And
into
I
a
don't
Taylor
think she
Swift
was
album as
allowed
you
to kind of
have.
go to that level
Yeah.
before. She would have got torn apart for talking about sex.
For sure. So,
Yeah.
but okay, that's great. And you know, he's got a
Yeah.
great package down there. Nobody's really surprised. Some guys have all the luck. That's fantastic. Good for you. I want to know, does this album fit the life of a showgirl pictures? Does it fit the marketing campaign behind it? And with Sabrina Carpenter being extremely successful, and you mentioned that stuff, like she, you know, it's like all this innuendo music or whatever, and that has a time limit, right? You can only do that for so long. Is Taylor Swift leaning into that because she can do more of it, hasn't done a lot of it, or is it because it's kind of popular right now and people are responding to it, so why not go that way?
It's probably a mix of both.
Okay.
I would say. And here's the thing. Taylor, her entire discography mostly is breakup songs. She's gone through a lot of breakups. She's finally in love. She's happy. She's engaged. She's never really been at a point in her life, at this point, being this in love and this like sure that this is the one to write an album feeling that way. Arguably, she could have taken that with Lover, with Joe, but looking back on those songs, it seems more of a hopeful love story rather than this album just being like celebrated for her to just make happy pop. So many people just make happy, sexy pop and they don't get criticized. When she put out Tortured Poets Department, whatever that was, people were mad because it was too wordy and too soft.
It was.
And
I
you
like
know
that side of her. I absolutely
so
like
did
that
I.
side of her. Yeah.
But this is what I mean. Everybody always has a criticism against her and her songwriting, even though
Yeah.
she's one of the only people who actually writes her own music. And I think it's fine if she has an album that's just fun and light and she's just exploring her new love life.
But that's maybe my worry, is that I don't feel like it's fun and light. I feel like she's scared to go away and actually be fun and light. I think that if she's just gone, you know, on eras, like she is in love. She's doing all of these wonderful things in her life. She has every reason in the world to just take a break and enjoy it. And because she usually is a reactor when it comes to writing. She's reacting and then writing, and it usually is a quick turnaround. Maybe that's why I find it hard to believe that her love has as much depth as it does, is because usually, you know, when somebody posts on Facebook that they're in a new relationship too quick, maybe that's what it feels like. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to feel like she is having so much fun. And these are all awesome love songs, but I find it hard to believe because they also there's a campaign right now behind it. And it actually makes me very sad because I think she's scared to go away. And I don't think she realizes that there's no world in which she will be ever irrelevant. It's actually for the best that she maybe takes a break for herself.
So I want to come back to that point, but I want to go to one of the major things that sort of broke over the weekend.
Yeah.
And, you know, here's the deal. A year and a half ago, Charli XCX had an unbelievable summer. It was Brad's summer. Everybody knew.
Yes.
She had that Sweat tour. It was incredible, right? She puts on a devastating live show. It's so good. And at the same time, Taylor Swift is taking the biggest tour ever around the world. Literally, they said, saving North America from a recession.
It did.
Because every city she went to, there was such a capitalist pop that it stimulated the economy. So, you know, Charli XCX has her big moment. Taylor Swift's is 10x that financially because she's gotten to that point and had so many albums and grown up with her fans and all that stuff. Now, Actually Romantic is one of the songs on this album. And I'm going to read Taylor's lyrics first, and then I'm going to read Charli's lyrics from Sympathy is a Knife, where apparently they're taking shots at each other. So we're kind of Tarantinoing this. We're working backwards, okay? So I heard you called me boring Barbie when the Cokes got you brave. High-fived my ex and then said you're glad he ghosted me. Wrote me a song saying it makes you sick to see my face. Some people might be offended, but it's actually sweet all the time you spent on me. Now, it's important to remember that Taylor, during the Eras tour, the very beginning, she was dating Maddie Healy from the 1975, and Charli XCX is married to another member of that band. Yeah. So Taylor and Charli would have spent some time together, and they have been together on stage before as well. In Sympathy is a Knife, Charli says this: I don't want to share the space. I don't want to force a smile. This one girl taps my insecurities. Don't know if it's real or I'm spiraling. And then later in the track, she says, don't want to see her backstage at my boyfriend's show. Fingers crossed behind my back. I hope they break up real quick. So a lot of people took this as Taylor coming back a little too hard. That's Charli XCX saying, man, you're so successful. I'm just insecure. I'm straight up insecure. And Taylor Swift going, you do coke and you think about me.
And I think you have a gay crush on me.
I would like to know, Stephanie, how that back and forth has landed with you.
I think it's interesting because I had no idea that
I didn't
there
either,
was
by the way.
beef
No
at all,
idea.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Because she opened up for the rep tour for Taylor, and I don't know, I never thought that there would be any beef.
She didn't really bring attention to it, right? Like she wasn't like...
Yeah.
And by the way, did you hear that? Did you go into a deep dive of the lyrics? Like some artists, when they put out diss tracks, are like,
right.
Well, I would dive deep into this one if I were you, fans.
Yeah.
Like
And I don't think Charli's fans are as like,
I don't think
where
they
are
care.
the Easter eggs?
I think
like
they
Taylor
want
Swift
a party.
fans.
They just want a party in sunglasses.
However, I'm assuming obviously there's more to the story because Taylor's saying, I heard you call me boring Barbie. Obviously that's not in the song.
Yeah.
So clearly something happened behind the scenes that we don't know about. I'm assuming obviously it's about Maddie Healy and his bandmate, but I think there's more to the story that we don't know. Is it overplayed? All these like kind of diss tracks of like woman against woman?
Yeah.
For sure. Could be.
I mean, listen, I think we got to, one thing I want to say about that as a male.
Yeah,
you
tell
know,
us.
As a male, I got to step in here and break these chicks
girls,
up. You
I
know
got
what I'm
something
saying?
to say, yeah.
No, I want to say something about that. Dudes in hip hop especially take shots at each other all the time. I'm a big heavy metal fan outside of my pop music. Like they take shots at each other all the time in rock. Okay. I don't know. I know that women are constantly quote unquote divided against each other and all that stuff. And but women are also allowed to fight.
Yeah.
Women are also allowed to take cheap shots and be petty just like men are. So I do think
I was going to say the same thing.
when people say that, I'm like, yo, okay, that's great. Like I hear that in the Housewives all the time. You know, you should be supporting me because well, you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Why am I supporting you if you're kind of an asshole? I don't care that you have a female-owned business. That's great for you, but you're kind of being a jerk to me right now, right?
Yeah.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake, you need to watch it. So, Jax, when you hear that as so Stephanie's point is, there's got to be more to the story. your point hearing that, and how does that land to you as somebody who's not as invested?
I don't care about the story. I just want to hear good music. Like and that's the thing is like, it feels, I was just back in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, where I grew up. And I was out with a bunch of girls that I went to high school with. And it was so nice to catch up with them. And we didn't really talk about high school. And then I realized that like, you know, we just talked about how things are going now and like what's going on. A couple of stories came up, but I just realized like, ooh, remember those high school dynamics from like 20 years ago? And that's what this makes me feel like. And it makes me feel like we're in systems that are probably really hard to break. You can't really get away sometimes from those dynamics of like, you know, it's not like women shouldn't bully each other. It's like, why are women bullying each other? However,
why are people bullying each other?
Exactly. Why are
they
people?
all do.
Yeah. Why are people bullying each other?
I can answer that, but keep going.
I just, it bores me. It bores me. And I think, I just feel like the active, and nothing against Travis, but this feels really complacent maybe to me, of like the high school sweetie and like those girls hate me. And maybe I desire more substance from her that I'm aware she has. And I don't think she's accessing it right now.
So you feel like she's not giving you her best?
Yeah, I feel like she's playing it really safe. And whether or not she has every reason in the world to, I mean, that makes me sad. However, I think you have every reason in the world not to stay in that safe place. So like high school, sweetie, vanilla, woo, kind of talk about sex. Like, Taylor, you can do better. And like that's said with love.
Let me say this. When Kanye West released that video of Taylor Swift saying it was okay that, you know, he quote unquote have her naked in the song. And remember that music video that came out, and she's like, she tweeted, I would like to be excluded from this narrative. That it came out later that Kanye and Kim had concocted part of that video and had edited it and released it to TMZ. And then because the Kardashians are really hooked in with the TMZ people, right? Yeah. And so they released that video. It goes viral. Everybody's like, oh, Taylor looks like an idiot, blah, 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 blah. And she never came out to correct it until many, many years later when it was proven that it was edited. And I always respected her for that, because she was like, you know what? I'm going to do an album and I'm going to come back. And it was the Reputation album, right? And I wonder if Stef doesn't have a point here. And it's not because I'm not a Charli XCX fan, but we are taking this story on its head, like totally surface, not being involved. And to talk about kind of a little bit what you talked about, Jax, so I do a lot of sports. I talk about a lot of sports, right? And one of the things that's true about most athletes is they're insane. If you've ever talked to a professional athlete, most of the time, the only thing they can talk about is the athletic thing that they're good at, because it's an obsession. And, you know, I remember when I was talking to a guy named Brian Williams, who's an old sports reporter, brilliant man. And he said, there are so many parents out there that push their kids to go berserk at hockey, expecting them to be these, you know, the next Wayne Gretzky. And he's like, here's the thing you need to know about Wayne Gretzky. He didn't need motivation.
Yeah.
He on his own would get up at 4:30 every weekday morning, go out to the backyard and shoot pucks for 2 hours, and then go to school and come back home and do it again. And the reason I bring you there is to bring you back here. These people who are artists, right? Charli XCX, Taylor, anybody else you want to talk about? Olivia Rodrigo, who's been involved in some stuff with Taylor, and any other artists you want to mention. These are not only the most perfectionist type of people with it when it comes to their music, they are also the most competitive. So it doesn't surprise me that there would be a little bit of friction when people are in the same category. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, these are women pop stars. There are only so many spaces in people's heads, right? For a roster of people. There's only so many people who can be famous at once. And so you're constantly fighting to be famous. And who are you fighting? You're fighting the other people. You're fighting them for airplay. You're fighting them for TikTok views. You're fighting so it almost, the way that we have set up our world, and we can't really change it, it is the way it is, that kind of seems to me where a lot of this would come from. Like, I bet if you put these two in the same room and they talked it out, solved in an hour. I bet. You don't think?
I don't think that there actually is a problem. I think that I don't.
Do you think it's an overreaction on Taylor's part?
I think that you're not going to like the answer. I think that
give me the answer.
I don't think that it's I don't think that it's like this. Oh, look, Stef's got her mic ready.
She's ready.
I don't think that it's like taking the artist's way out. I think it's that nobody really noticed or cared when Charli had written his song.
But Charli's not as famous,
right? But I think that Taylor this is a fantastic opportunity to get buzz going. And it always seems to be about the same things, men or conflict. And again, I think it's opportunistic. So I think she's like, I'm going to write a song and not be as vulnerable about why I'm writing it, not give you as many details. I don't think we know about a lot about the story because Taylor's not going to tell us. She's going to write a vague song, like call somebody out for doing coke, not really give us any information. The only reason that we know that there was like, some competition in there and like, some jealousy and some insecurities because the other party told us. And I think that Taylor, like to her credit, likes to keep things vague and likes to make kind of like
there's mystery.
Yeah, mysterious throws.
Except for Dear John, that was pretty on the nose.
Because we are sitting here in my house in Toronto, Ontario, talking about it. And I again go back to Taylor is afraid to go away. And I don't think she should be.
See, okay, now there, I'm going to step in again and I'm going to say, I think you have a point.
Yeah, I think she is.
And I'm going to, Steph, I want to know what you think about this because here's what I'm thinking. If this album is being poorly received, if it's well received by Taylor Swift fans, then that's enough, right?
Yeah.
Like there's so many of them that it really, for her album sales will be fine. She already said she's not going on tour. She has no desire to do that. Who can blame her? But I look at this and I go, this has been, how many albums since 2020 have we got? Plus, that's new music. Plus all the Taylor's versions before she was able to acquire her rights back, right? So I almost wonder sometimes it's like, it's like a workout. Like sometimes you're just tapped. You're tired.
And we saw it in, think about it. Like when we started doing the Virgin Radio Morning Show, when we used to do a show together here in radio in 2019, it has been a relentless cycle of Taylor. And we saw that also, Adam, with Ed Sheeran, and there was fatigue around it. Obviously not the same type
Ed goes
of
away
artist.
for 2 years, but his music never does.
No, and he never does, but then he comes back. But he did hit a point, and I think it was like 2021 maybe, where it was too much. And there was actual burnout happening. Like people were just like, shut up, Ed. God bless him. But
Brilliant
they were like, stop.
songwriter.
And I don't think anyone will ever be like, shut up, Taylor. But I think you're starting to hear the whispers of be quiet, Taylor. Like, because it's leaving a bad taste in people's mouths and it's not giving the album the service that it deserves.
Stephanie, do you think that it could be too much in a short period of time?
Well, I think she's absolutely insane for what she's put out
It is
since
insane.
2020. It's crazy.
No,
5
not
new
from
albums.
a performance level, from a like consumer level.
5 new albums.
Well, in general, all of it.
Plus all the Taylor's version stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the tour.
Yeah. Like that's a lot for just your regular Joe. I can't even imagine how she feels. For a consumer level, I mean, I'll take a new Taylor album.
Can I say
And that's my point, right?
And that's the thing. Can I say something? Like everybody, like I have so many Swifties like between Instagram and then just like obviously everyone's For You page on TikTok. I hear a lot of like people defending Taylor's album because it's Taylor, not because of the actual album. And you heard like
I actually like the songs.
Yeah, and no, I get that. But like you at first were like Taylor must be tired. It's not like. I don't know. I don't think people are able to separate it. I feel like it's not a cult at all, but people are like, she is Taylor and Taylor we trust. And she is, all of her songs are great. And we love Taylor and she's happy and she's so tired because she's pushing.
That's the thing though. If I listened to the album and it took me like 6 listens to get into it, like I would be honest and I would say that. Like it took me a while.
I trust that.
But literally I listened to it twice when it came out at midnight.
Yeah.
And I was just messaging my friends and I'm like, I love it.
It shows you how deep
great.
the brainwashing goes when you immediately like, I just second you.
Here's what I'll say.
I like that. You would tell us.
Here's what I'm feeling from this debate. And I'm glad we had it because I think it's important to get somebody on the inside and somebody on the outside and talk about it. Because I am genuinely split. But what I do feel is that from the general public's point of view, there is a fatigue. You're going to see in your TikTok algorithm a lot of Taylor Swift fans going to the wall for this. And you're going to see a lot of anti-Taylor Swift fans or people who are like, I'm formerly a Taylor Swift fan and here's what I think and here's why it's bad. And I'm like, I don't know that you're a former Taylor Swift fan. You could be friggin' anybody. I don't know what you listen to. I'm just taking your word for it. I do think you do reach a fatigue level. Yeah. And I think that's why she's not doing a tour. And I also think, hey, I do think you've got a point, Jax. I think it's like, hey, it's okay to go away. Let people miss you. That's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten was it's okay to let it breathe. It's okay to let people miss you. And when they don't miss you, they can't appreciate you properly, except for Taylor Swift fans who can.
Yeah.
The public at large, the general public beyond that is like, okay, enough. And I think people feel like I don't know if I can take another couple years of this person being the main headline.
Yeah.
And so can we step back and have somebody else take it for a bit? And then you can come, you're Taylor Swift, you're going to come back and take it anyway one day.
I also think it's probably like, it feels like an odd time landscape wise of the internet to be like, here I am again. And this is the happiest I've ever been. And I've like some of the TikToks that I'm seeing are like, this is a terrible time in US politics. And then like,
but is it her job to directly reflect that?
No, absolutely not. She is not. But I think she's going to see a lot of people not caring because they don't have the bandwidth to care. Like, if that makes sense. People like, because there's usually, it's divisive. I think that there's so much burnout right now from just digital anything that people are like, shut up, Taylor. And they could have been Taylor fans. They could have liked the song, but everyone's just like, shut up to anything. It could be Taylor or anybody. Anybody who seems to be doing doing happy things or being well right now. It doesn't feel like the right tone. I don't want her to like go on a political agenda or anything like that. But I feel like she's going to have an extra mile to run right now because the road is hard in the States. And she's going to get some extra hate because it's an intolerable time to be bubblegummy right now. And I, like, if I'm online, the last thing I want to see is like Taylor being like, don't worry, Redwood and I are safe and sound. And like, I don't know, she just seems extra in your face.
So that's your closing argument.
My closing argument is, I think she should go into the redwoods for a minute and take a long nap, and that's okay. And she deserves it.
We need folklore part 2. Is what you're hoping for.
I think we just need like
Woman of the Woods, Justin Timberlake.
I think we need no woman.
You just need to relax.
Yeah, and I think she does too.
Stef, your closing arguments. You got to defend the album because that is your job, and also I believe you believe it passionately. Right?
No, I do. I really, really enjoy the album. She's doing what she loves. She writes music for a living. That's her entire life. And I don't know. If I was her and I was doing music, obviously taking breaks is a great idea, but that's what she loves. That's what she's passionate about. That's the only thing she's ever known. We always say you kind of pause at the age that you became like really famous. And that could be true for her. She became really famous at like 17, 18. You know, she could still be in that mindset, which might be coming through from her songs.
Yep.
But either way, I really loved it. She took a 2-year break before Reputation, and every album since then, somebody has had something to say about how it's different from her last, and she's changed her sound. And I think there's always going to be that chatter around her. But as long as her main fans love it, then it doesn't really matter. And I love it. So
I was going to say, but this album isn't different, and I do want different.
It is. A lot of people are saying it is different, though. That's the thing.
No,
I love you. I'm sorry. That's my closing argument. As the man in the room. Go ahead.
No, as the moderator of this chat. Okay.
Yeah.
As the moderator of this chat, I want to run you through somebody that I think was on just an unbelievable run.
Yeah.
And that was Rihanna.
Oh,
August 12th, 2005.
Yeah. Good point.
Music of the Sun. April 11th, 2006. So that's like 8 months later. A Girl Like Me. Okay. June 5th, 2007. Good Girl Gone Bad.
Yeah.
November 23rd, 2009. So we are in the course of 5 years. We've got 4 albums. That's when Rated R came out. Okay. Then Loud, November 16, 2010. Then Talk That Talk, November 21st, 2011.
Yeah.
And then Unapologetic, November 19th, 2012.
Yeah.
And then she waited a few years, and in 2016, we got Auntie. And
Auntie.
I look at that. Isn't it Auntie?
Auntie.
Is it Auntie?
No, I like Auntie. I like is it
Better.
Auntie?
Should be.
I like calling it Auntie now. And hang on, what was the biggest hit off of Auntie?
That is a really good question. I can't remember. That's 2016. So it's almost 10 flipping years ago. Okay.
Poured Up was on there. Oh my God, Kiss It Better. Right. Work was on there. Okay. Desperado.
Yeah, Work was on there. Oh, that's good. So
and then she stopped.
So and that was over the course of less than 10 years because it was that's over 11 years. That's like 8 albums in 11 years. That's an unbelievable clip.
And Auntie was one of her best albums, people say.
Taylor Swift started in like 2008, which is the second or third Rihanna album, right? And has kept going.
Yeah.
And I think it's an unbelievable amount. So here's what I think Taylor Swift should do. You ready?
This was her 12th album, though.
12, that's a crazy amount of albums. That's crazy. That is Beatles level. Drake was on a run like that too. Elvis Presley was on a run like that. Rolling Stones, like you're talking about stuff like historic levels, okay? I'm looking at this and I'm going, here's what I need from Taylor Swift. 2 years off, get married, do your thing, right?
Yeah.
Don't stop writing songs, but I need you to write like 100 of them.
Yeah.
And then I need you to take the best 25 or 30 and put out the greatest double album of all time. I'm talking like better than Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon level. If you go ahead and you do that, because there's no question she can pump this shit out, right? I think you come roaring back and all this noise goes away.
That's a great idea. I like that.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm looking at it side by side and like, if Taylor and Rihanna were kind of going at the same steam, and I mean, Taylor, I think Rihanna has taken too much time off because I miss her so much, but like I DJ'd
she's
a
had
wedding.
A baby too, right?
She's had, she's not,
Three.
she's a third, right?
Yeah.
Or
Just
did she
had a
have
baby
her-
a few weeks ago, yeah.
This past weekend, I DJ'd a wedding, and one of the most, like, it was all Rihanna. It's always Rihanna. People love Rihanna. And if Taylor had stopped around that time, that was like her Reputation. Yeah, Reputation 1989 both came out like 2015 to 2017. Had she kept, like, I can think of like big Taylor bangers that could be requested songs. Then I can't really think of like the past few years of being like, play Wood or play what's Fairy Tale of Ophelia. What is it called?
The Fate of Ophelia.
It just happened.
I know, but
It
I
did
mean,
just come
I
out.
just mean that like I think that
And
there's
Taylor's not like club music.
No, but I think that there's so much material that it's almost a wash, and I love, and that's why I love that idea of choosing, not putting out. It's like not tweeting every tweet you want to tweet. It's like choosing the best.
I think she's got to hold back. I think she needs to say, okay, I see your negative criticism.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm going to hold my shit back and you're going to miss me.
But she has to actually
She's
be
not
quiet.
she's not going to do it.
You don't think so?
She has her first album re-recorded. Doesn't have like a set date of when she's going to release it, but she already has that re-recorded.
Does she even need to now that she owns the thing?
No.
Does we need a Taylor's version?
She doesn't, but she said that she'll release the Reputation Vault tracks, whether or not she releases the whole album or not.
What?
Wow.
But yeah, so that's why like she's gonna keep going. Like this is what she does. She's made for this.
I think
Literal
it's-
factory. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I will be here listening.
Yes, she will. Yes, she will. Yes, she will.
so much more is coming. Good.
She could literally put on a concert for like 8 hours and not run out of hips. It's kind of nuts. Like it's
I'm gonna
wild.
play you Opalite when we're done here and
It sounds-
dance around, and you'll like it.
That sounds like a hydration juice. Opalite?
It is.
It's a stone. It's a birthstone.
Oh, is it? Opal?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
it's like a diamond.
Opalite sounds like something that your daughter Everly would take if she has the flu.
Yeah. That's kind of true. Yeah. All right. Hey, you know what? Great debate. Didn't get personal. I really appreciate you both for doing that. It's not easy.
Are you
especially?
Yeah. I love you, and I
love you too.
I love Taylor.
Yeah. And I like the fact that you guys differ on this and you're
scared
ready to
of my
go.
own
I was
home.
once this album came out, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have some fun on this show. That was fun. It was a little, at times I was like, oh, I can feel the tension in the room. Now, here's one we can all get on side with. Should he get a vasectomy? This is something I was actually gonna do last week on the show. But
Okay,
did
there
I
we
do
go.
it last week on the show? I don't think I did this.
Yeah, listen, you did have your legs out on the last show.
Listen,
but you
I
didn't
got
talk about
the gams are out
vasectomies.
again today. It's
No,
hot
I
drama.
love talking about Taylor's albums and dicks. That's what I
Well,
like. Yeah.
I mean, she's talking about it, so why can't we? So I think this is really, really interesting, and I want to know what you would do. Jax, this will be harder for you to relate to since you're not into the redwoods so much anymore.
I mean, you know what?
Occasionally there's a sample. You chop down the occasional tree, right?
Everybody thinks his buzz cut is going to one side of the fence, but maybe I'm spicier than you think. Maybe I like men a little more sometimes. You
Okay,
know?
so this is a woman and she's looking for relationship advice and she says, I'm just wanting to know if I'm being irrational in being upset and how would you proceed in this situation? Backstory, my 31-year-old, I am 31 years old and I'm a female. My husband is 31 and he's a male. We've been married for 10 years and we just had our 4th child. And we always said we would have 3, maybe 4 kids max. And we would then be definitely finished having children. My last 2 kids were C-section. So my body's been through a lot. We decided once we finished having kids, he would get a vasectomy because in his words, I have, quote, done enough. And I think she has. She's delivered, shall we
Okay, I
say.
thought yeah.
And she said, I appreciated that. And she said, and maybe after having this last kid, I'm still on the hormonal roller coaster that is post-pregnancy, which lasts for like a year or more. It's crazy, right? When my husband went to book his vasectomy, he said he was worried about it because it was so final, which I replied, good, because we don't want any more kids. Turns out he is concerned about what would happen if I died young and he was to remarry and possibly wanting more kids with that person. I'm 2 weeks postpartum. Yikes. So maybe I'm a little emotional, but I got extremely upset hearing this. We don't want more kids. And now I feel like he's prioritizing some unlikely hypothetical over our current marriage and what's best for it. It also hurts to hear his plans to replace me and just possibly make a new family in general. He said he thinks he will still do it because he loves me and he knows that that's what I want. But I'm still hurt by this. And now I'm worried he'll resent me over this hypothetical. Now, there is so much going on in this story. I read this and I was like, I legitimately don't know how to proceed here. But I have had a vasectomy and it's pretty fun.
It's also reversible, right?
Yeah, it's hard though. It's like
snip, snap. Michael Scott. Office.
You don't just snap back to. The snipping is a lot easier than the snapping.
Yeah, you know what else you don't snap back from? Like having multiple babies and also postpartum. And like sometimes you do, but I have to say, like if we're talking about like crazy potential realities, what if you get her pregnant again by accident and then you die, sir? And then she's stuck with five
kids, children.
Five
kids
at
that point.
Like that's enough. That's what about me and my, also like he's 31. I mean, like if she were to die next year, like he could, but like
the craziness of the sentence, what if you die young and I want to have more kids is insane to me.
King of Utah, like frig off, like geez. Where are these people from? This poor woman started pumping out kids at 21 years old.
Yeah, probably
and then he's
like
worried about his like barren, what is it?
Well, he's worried about shooting blanks. And
I think he needs to be more worried about not shooting blanks. Like just, sir, that is go get your wife some ice cream, rub her back, like snuggle her and work on the kid that you just had.
Stephanie, how did that
Steph's
hit you?
gonna go harder than I am. Watch.
What does this guy do for a living that he can pay for 4 kids?
Was like, well, they got to have family money.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He can pay for 4 kids, and he's thinking about more down the line with a younger woman. Like I'm confused.
Yeah.
I was like, is this like, I feel like this is the wrong economy to bring 16 children into, right? That's what, like, that feels a bit, it feels like there's a deeper internal crisis happening within him.
Yes.
That is none of her concern. And also he needs to process on his own.
Part of me thinks that, that they jumped into this, they were young and they were in love and whatever. And that's great. Like, I don't have any worries about their marriage per se, but I would say, there is a part of you as a parent and you get to this point, like my daughter's 6 and I look at my nephew who's about 19, 20 months old and I go, I will never have that again in my life, right? I have had a vasectomy. I am not having any more kids. And something about when an 18-month-old, 19-month-old, 20-month-old comes over to you and just gives you a hug because they want to, because they're truly choosing you, you just melt inside. Now,
their head smell?
Yeah. And the baby head smell? Yeah.
Frig.
It's real. I also, though, remember what it was like not to sleep for a very, very long time.
I remember what it was like for you not to sleep. Yeah.
I don't miss that at all. So I think this guy, when you look at it, sometimes it's a little scary because you're like, oh, I'm like, already it happens in a flash. I'm past all that. Like, you got to think about having a baby, right? The attention's on you. You get the baby shower and the thing, and everybody comes over and blah, 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 and they're making you food and whatever. They're trying to help you through it. And yes, it's a lot of work, but this guy's probably at the point now where it's like, oh, I've got 4 kids and okay, we're just here. And this was the only thing I was focused on. And I don't know what's next for me. And
that's his entire,
that's his entire existence was getting to that 4th kid.
Some people, their entire identities become parenthood.
Which is fine.
No, it's a beautiful thing, but like some people they lose themselves a bit. And like I've had friends that they have admitted, they're like, when I became a mom, I forgot what I was interested in. I forgot who I was. I forgot all of these parts. And like men have that, I'm sure, not
Certainly.
They certainly do. But like
We have,
this doesn't feel like I miss the smell of children's heads. It's like I miss my ability to build my spawn.
Can I tell you what's hard?
Yeah.
Can I tell you what's hard for a lot of men?
What?
So you're in a relationship.
I'd love to know. Adam, tell me.
Listen.
I know. Steph immediately.
Listen,
Steph
it's not all about you chicks, okay?
Stephanie and I look at each other like,
right.
fucking tell us.
Let me I'll just tell you chicks something, okay?
Yeah, you know what, Adam?
You know what it is?
What?
Your girlfriend, wife, whatever, if you're in love, because sometimes kids are not love they're love children, but they're not children born out of, a long-term relationship, and that's fine too. But you realize that the person you are with, you're no longer their number one priority, and you never will be again. And that hits people.
Yeah.
Men are, I think, pretty ego-driven, and I'm one of them. And you realize that the person you are with, their focus has got to be, especially as a mom, their focus has got to be those kids. And so it can be a bit of an ego death for some of these guys. And it never really bothered me all that much. I don't want to be the center of attention in that way. But it is a switch.
I'm going to stop you there because I think you didn't have a hard time with it, not because you're not ego driven, but I think you have a more secure attachment style than a lot of these guys do, because I see a lot of men, especially guys who get married early, like they're just looking for a new mummy sometimes. I was not looking for that. And you were looking for that, but like these men, like they get out of like their childhood home and then they go into like being in a relationship with a woman who essentially cares for them. And I've seen guys have a hard time when their wife starts having like other kids because they're just looking for somebody to care for them.
Did you see there? He was like, but what if you die early?
Yeah.
And then I need to find another wife and have
it's
children
like,
with
what
her.
if it's abandonment issues. And it's like, I just think you should be worried about how she's feeling, not how you're feeling when she potentially dies and leaves you at home alone. This is giving,
but do you understand
Cody
how irrational and weird that is?
Yes.
That is somebody going through a crisis of confidence.
Then get a therapist, sir.
Okay,
you got enough money for 5 kids.
This question.
That's the that is my answer. Is please
seek therapy,
seek help, and also it just give me Cody Brown. You know Cody Brown? Sister Wives.
Oh,
it's give me Cody Brown energy. You know what I mean? He's like, because you can't have your cake and eat it too. And when you do, try that. You end up with many sister wives leaving you on the commune.
Yeah, listen. I'm just saying. There is a big switch for men.
Go
where it's
get her ice cream.
She used to look at you like you're the only person in the world, and now they're looking. That's what the kids are, and they need to be, and that's healthy. But that change, no one prepares you for that. And I don't know why you're looking at me like that. That happens.
No, but I'm looking at you because I think short is true, but you can really quickly decide that like a child is like. A woman caring for your child is not at the lack of care for you.
I know, but not everybody can make that distinction.
But you were able to.
Sure.
Many other folks but if you are having trouble with that, then you have some deeper digging and love to do for your own self. I want to say something else, but like, figure it out, man. Figure it out. I don't know.
I also think, and I'm going to just be straight up here, I know a couple of people that have had some near misses on that sort of thing because they didn't get the vasectomy done fast enough. And I think part of it sometimes is guys are just straight up afraid. They're just straight up afraid of going under the knife. And I got to tell you, mine, I had just gotten divorced, and about 6 months later, I wasn't looking to meet anyone.
You were hot and you got it done.
Yeah. I met Natalie, and then it was like, we were very much in love, and here we are 5 years later. So there was obviously something to it. And I think about 3 months in, I was like dead set. I didn't want to do this again, but she hasn't had any kids. And so I said to her, I'm like, listen, I know we talked about this. I know you said you don't want to, but 3 months into our relationship, I had to sit her down in her apartment and go, listen, I know we might not even be moving in together, but just so we're clear, you don't want to have kids, right?
I think that's beautiful and really responsible and something that people don't do enough of. And like brave. And you had a lot on your plate.
She dropped me off and picked me up at the hospital.
Yeah. And when I said it hot, you got it done. I don't mean like it's hot whether you get a vasectomy or not. It was just like you were ready to talk about those things and also realize that like your choices impact somebody else's life as well.
Yeah.
I will admit, can I tell you a secret that I've never really said? I was like, oh, damn, when you got a vasectomy.
Why, you wanted me to have another kid?
Well,
Everly's a lot of fun.
I was like, what if I meet like someone and then I want to continue the wild? No, but like, what if I wanted him as a donor? No, but like we kind of look alike.
You can't have a friend as a donor.
Yeah, I have.
Can you really?
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
is that weird?
No. I know a lot of folks who do it. I don't know how we would work it out. Like we would maybe it would be weird for you.
It'd be artificial.
Yeah.
It'd be weird for you.
No, I don't mean we're just going to fuck. No. And you're not going to have sex with my wife. But I just like, God, I just meant because like, no, hang on, let me get fucking. I just, because.
Have you ever wanted to be in one of those movies you watched too late growing up?
Listen, I have no problem.
Are you propositioning me?
I have no problem with the polydynamic. Let me tell you what. But no, I'm trying to, because I wondered, because I have, listen, I'm not sacrificing this temple, okay?
Right.
But no, and all jokes aside, I haven't ever felt the need to carry a child.
Yeah.
That hasn't been, but I've always like maybe wanted to be a mom. I don't know. Past couple of years, I'm all over the place. But we kind of look alike. And also I wouldn't be like, all jokes aside, I wouldn't be, unless I did it in a different way, I wouldn't be associated like genetically with that child, right? Like I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that there is part of me that's like, oh damn, and that has nothing to do. It's the people who raise the kid, not the blood that's in the kid, right?
Oh,
like,
of course, yeah.
That's what it is. But I wondered that, maybe I'm little Marilyn Dennis. I don't know, running around.
That's what it is.
That's
what it is.
No, I'm just kidding.
She wants a Hollywood kid to take care of her.
I want to raise
Hollywood
more
kid,
of
pay my bills.
the Canadian, the royal media family.
Yes.
No, but when I first met Everly when she was a baby, I was like, you're very cute, and I wouldn't mind having another one of you.
She was very cute.
But Adam, I got to be honest. I can barely get you to show up here on time.
I know.
I can't get you to get my non-existent wife pregnant on time.
Do you need an ADHD child running around here? I don't know.
I think that if we created a child, I don't think they'd have a chance. I think that
they'd
wouldn't.
be theatrical and bad at math. I can guarantee that.
Theatrical and in jail. Yeah. Like theatrical and very inconsistent. But yeah, no, I respect that you got a vasectomy, except didn't think about your lesbian wife, did you?
I'm sorry I didn't. Okay, now let's get into Dying to Know, which is where you submit your questions. You can always put this through on our Instagram page, Adam Wild and Jax. You can submit these anytime you want, and you can submit them any way you want. So we're talking voice notes, we're talking videos, we're talking just write them up. And we
love really also, I have to say, you can send us videos asking, and we love voice notes and videos. You can send us anything. Okay. But I love a video.
So not a question, but this is from Molly. I'm flying to the UK, and I can't see all of Molly's question here, but it says, I have been avoiding listening to your podcast for a couple of weeks. I love your show. But I guess she was stacking up the podcast so she could listen to it all the way on her trip to the UK, which I think is nice. I actually do have a question. What has been your worst flying experience? On second thought, is this a good question to answer while I'm on a plane? LOL. So worst flying experience, Jacqueline.
I've already talked about Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And the flight suit.
The flight suit.
I had food poisoning so bad that I was in a wheelchair in February at the Cancun airport. If you recall that. And they had to inject Gravol into my bum with a needle. And they said I wasn't allowed to fly. And I said, please. And then I threw up everywhere, all over the floor in my wheelchair and all over my body. But I've already told that on the show. So beyond that, I used to get blackout on planes.
Really?
Oh yeah. I used to get it at the bar, and I would always be like, well, I'm on a plane. I'm fancy. And then I would just like drink a bunch. And I remember like waking up and I had been snoring in somebody's ear for like the entire time. And I was like, when you're hungover after like a long night, imagine at that altitude.
Oh yeah.
Because I was coming back from LA. So I was like, it was a long flight. That was a bad hangover. So that's why I don't drink anymore. And flights have gotten better. Yeah.
Oh,
that's my worst flight. What about you?
I don't have a story anywhere near as good. I can only say that
you haven't puked on yourself or gotten blackout.
I have not. I haven't. I'm not a big drinker in an airport person.
You're not an alcoholic.
No, that's true. I went to interview Usher once. And,
Okay, Adam, don't be chic.
I'm sorry. Did I trip on that name I just dropped?
It's like I just threw up all over my own body in a wheelchair, and you're like, and then I was with Mr. 305 and like Madonna.
No,
like,
so I went to interview Usher for the album. You remember that? If you really want more, turn it up loud. Remember that song?
I don't know. You interviewed him. You should know.
I forget what the album was called.
I'm so jealous. I'm like, shut up.
And so I was really excited, though. I was like 23, 24 years old. They flew me to Washington, D.C., which is a weird place to have a junket, but that's where they had it. And it was all the international media. So there was people sitting in the room. There's like Hong Kong and like, Britain and France and, whatever. And there's like translators there getting ready to translate the questions and whatever. So I step in there and I'm like, And anyway, we had a really good chat. The interview goes well. I spend the evening walking around like the national sort of pavilion where all the, there's the statue of Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson, Martin Luther King and all that, whatever they call that. And the next day I get up, I'm like, I'm going to be at the airport on time and whatever. But because I was being flown by a company, and in this particular case, it was a record company, they loved to buy the cheapest seats possible. Who can blame them, right? There are two major airports in Washington, D.C.
Okay, here we go, Adam.
I flew into Ronald Reagan, and I thought, well,
why wouldn't I
I'm
fly
going
out
to
of it?
Ronald Reagan. And I got there, and they're like, there's no flight here. And I was like, what do you mean? Because everything was empty. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, where is everybody? And they're like, yeah, this is. And so I showed them the ticket. They're like, that's at Dulles. And I said, I literally said to the person, I'm like, what is that?
Where?
And they're like, it's the other airport. And literally, I'm like, how far is it away from here? And they're like, an hour. And I'm like, oh no. So I missed my flight.
Like JFK and LaGuardia. Or what's the other one? There's another, Newark. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a direct flight. Anyway, long story short, they rebooked me, but I had to pay for it because the record company was like, well, I'm not paying for your flight home. You missed it. And so I had to fly through Montreal and then Winnipeg, DC, Montreal for 8 hours, then Winnipeg, then Calgary. Just to make sure I was there for the morning show because I was gonna miss the show and I couldn't miss it. So I spent the entire Sunday just traveling, and it was like a 20-hour trip. It was brutal.
Now, as soon as I heard the story, like where it was going, I thought, how is Adam going to excuse that he was late or missed a plane? But I have done that, so I get it. But it sounds like you learned your lesson, right?
Yeah.
You ever miss a flight again?
I've never missed another flight.
We have Billy Bishop like here in Toronto, but I can't imagine being like, yeah, there's 4 airports here. Like which airport are you going to? You just think Pearson, people are coming in. Like these cities have multiple airports.
Yeah.
Well, I have a little bit of sympathy for you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so the interview with Usher went great, and then I went to the wrong airport. Oh, God. Yeah, no, I can't say it, but I was sitting in my own sweat.
Okay. All right. Now, let's get to our recommendations because that was a very long answer to a short question from myself. Jax, yours was great. I liked your answer. Recommendations for the week. I'm going to assume Stefs is Life of a Showgirl by some unknown artist named Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I was thinking this really indie artist, nobody really knows of her, called Taylor Swift. So the Life of the Showgirl. Yeah.
She's
pushing it.
I'm gonna get a talking to.
Is she paid by the Taylor Swift Deep State?
I went to go see her movie this weekend, or whatever, the thing in the theaters.
She has a thing in the theaters?
Yeah, it wasn't a movie. It was October 3rd to 5th. She played the whole album and she explained each track. And you had like the making of the music video. It was really cool.
That's what I mean. It's like,
it was really cool.
And how much did that cost?
It was like $15.
Okay, but like it's just like it's how many ways can she
make money?
Yeah, make money, but also like be there.
But also connect with her fans. Honestly, it was wonderful.
Well, I won't say that. She could just send you a video. Like everybody, you could get a link for fans for free.
I'm going to say Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay, everybody's talking about this.
No, you must watch.
Yes.
It's just phenomenal.
Wait, is there a new season out or something?
Yes. And so this is how much I love this show. There's a woman who sues everybody and gets sued by a bunch of people.
Love.
Not on the show, but just generally.
Love
like she's
a woman who sues people. Woman. Hell yeah.
And there's a bunch of lawsuits in front of her, and they talk about it at like a camping trip. And this is what's so crazy. She hears that they're talking about it. So she invites them all to dinner or all to lunch at a very fancy restaurant, and everything says she has literal pictures of herself and the judgment orders and going denied, or like whatever, as in like the judge denied this or whatever it was. And everybody's like, okay, so hold on. You didn't go to trial. Does that mean you settled? And she won't answer the question.
No.
Because if you don't go to trial, you could have just settled and paid the person off, right? And it leads to one of the most insane, amazing fights I've ever seen in my life.
I love
and
that.
It's incredible. You must watch it.
I like an American wealthy woman.
Very
right?
very wealthy, these women.
Who just
very
confronts people head on.
With,
and then
with posters of herself.
makes it into a party, makes it into an event. Like she keeps busy. It
Yes.
sounds like she's throwing events and really, really tearing apart the community.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm still watching Black Rabbit and I can't, it's so dark.
Oh, it is a dark show, man. It's so dark.
I'm like doing it like 20 minutes at a time. Like not only like dark content, but like dark, like it's,
That's the
I keep on turning up the brightness.
That is a Jason Bateman written and directed show with Jude Law in it as well.
Yes. And I never thought I'd say this, but Jason Bateman is pissing me off.
Oh,
I love him. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's enough. I look at him, like, I say, yuck. Don't, I say,
it's
ugh.
that show is I can see why you're watching it 20 minutes at a time because it's too much, man.
It makes
you get invested in that show and it's like, I can't go any further than this.
I also haven't gone into the back end, like the Reddit parts of it, but I have a feeling that when I finish it, that there'll be a lot. Have you finished it? Have you watched it?
Oh,
it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
It's great, but it's
I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that say this could have been done in 4 episodes, not 8.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
It feels long. And maybe it's because Jason Bateman's pissing me off. And I don't like getting mad at people, but he's getting on my last nerve.
He gets to the fork in the road and it's the right and the wrong. And he's always like, I'll take the wrong.
And I've had enough of his beard.
Oh, his beard's a lot.
Also, Jude Law could get it.
Good-looking boy.
What's up?
So, listen, that's it for us this week. Thank you so much to Stephanie and to Jax for the very measured, but I think frank debate on Taylor Swift. Thank you so much for listening. We love you as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next week.
I have one thing to say before we go.
Oh, okay, go.
Is that it's going to get cool this week, so you may have to put on pants next week.
Don't think so.
Bring them out.